Hello, everybody. Dr. Rick Wallace here. I'm dropping in on you. I hope that everyone is having a great day. You're getting your week started off on the right track. Normally, I use the Facebook Live platform to promote the Visionetics Institute and the work that I do in self-empowerment and things of that nature. And I normally shift everything that's dealing with the work I do in the Black community to my YouTube channel for the Odyssey Project. And every now and then I feel the need to sort of switch it up. And so I'm actually going to do the live segment here, and then I'll move it over to my YouTube channel. Those of you who are familiar with me know that while my passion is in helping people, my love is invested in loving my people and putting in the work that is necessary to see progression. I see far too often my people complaining and finger pointing and blaming, and it's everybody's fault, but nobody wants to own the responsibility of making a change. See, we can talk about all day long the external or exogenous forces that move against the Black community, the Black man, the Black female, Black children, Black economic empowerment. We can look at the racial caste system in which we operate, in which we are forced to deal with on a regular basis. And we can find multitudinous machinations that are in place that are meant to hold us back. Yes, we can. We can talk about that upside downside. We've had some unbelievable scholars and historians who have come in and shaped that and fashioned it and formed it to where it's understandable. I have written on it, I have lectured on it, and I have talked about it comprehensively. But at the end of the day, we're forced with this one real truth, that if we're going to experience any type of true change, it comes from within. We must be able to stand against the forces that are moving against us and proactively engage the need of change. No oppressor, no enemy, no outside force is going to serve our interests, our values, our principles. That's something that has to happen on the inside. And what it's going to take are those of us who understand enough to know that there has to be action, to initiate the action and work with people who still don't even realize they need help. They need to change. They need to change their thinking, their approach in so many different areas of life. So it's up to us to put them in the best possible position. It's up to us to sit up and take action. It's up to us to understand the need for change and then to lead the charge in that area. And so we can talk about the underperformance of the Black male, and there are plenty of things to point at. We can talk about the hypermasculinity of the adolescent and young adult male and the violence associated with it. We can talk about the disrespect that young Black males have towards Black women and our elderly and how they have seized the Black community. We could talk about the underperformance in school, the overrepresentation in the prison population. We can talk about the underrepresentation in the workforce. We can continuously look at all of the things that's always highlighted about our Black males, and we can sit up and say it's a shame, you know, it's sad. We can continuously speak on it on that level, or we can sit up and say, what are we going to do about it? And one of the things that I've done about it is I created the Black Men Lead Rite of Passage Initiative. It is a program designed to work with Black males from the age of 4 to the age of 30, each with a different focus. Obviously, those we're working with at 4 years old is more about socialization. It is about preparing them to be what they are designed to be and function as leaders, as protectors, as providers, as a strong force that moves us forward. And working with our teenagers, it's about diffusing the interpolation of negative ideologies into their psyche. It's about introducing them to a new possibility. It's about saying, hey, there's more out here to life than just being a D-boy, than just rapping, than just being an athlete. Now, there's nothing wrong with being an athlete. There's nothing wrong with being an artist, but there's so much more that you can do with your mind. So if you don't fit into that category, you're not lost, you're not stuck. Hey, there's something out here for you. It's about showing them the importance of using this newly found physical dominance that they're experiencing as they grow stronger than their female counterparts as they enter into puberty and adolescence, how to use that to protect instead of to harm. When you look at the fact that the in some cases the first and in most cases the second leading killer of young black females between the age of 15 and 44 is intimate partner homicide. The very men that they've trusted their lives and their hearts with are the ones that are causing them harm and in many instances causing them death. We've got to teach the reverse of that, that you have this new aggression inside of you that you may not be able to explain. This newfound strength comes as a result of an increased production of testosterone, but it's not meant to harm the elderly in your community. It's not meant to harm the women and children in your community. It's meant to stand up boldly, square your shoulders and hold your head up and protect the elderly, protect our women, protect our children, stand guard over our communities. That's what you're feeling right now that you can't explain because, see, there's an absence of modeling of manhood in your community. So you don't know what real manhood looks like. You only see what you're seeing on the corners and in the streets and what you're seeing being represented in the media. So you don't have a clear understanding of the powerful force inside of you to rise up and be something special and spectacular. We're going to deal with that. And then we're going to deal with the older group of the young adult males up age 30 and getting them to see that they're not stuck in this definition of who they are put out by mainstream media, that there's something better on the inside of them, that they are the catalyst to changing and leading a younger generation. There is something on the inside of our young black boys that needs to be nurtured and pulled out, and there are some things that they need to see in truth modeled in manhood and supported in them. You have to forgive me. I'm trying my best not to get emotional, but I am contacted weekly by single black mothers begging me to take their sons under my wing, with the primary fear and concern being that they're losing them to the streets, that they're losing them to the system, that the educational process is alienating and ostracizing them at a level that's driving them to go underground and escape it all. And they're asking it. And I look at the hurt in these women's faces, and I look at the confusion in these boys' eyes, and I know that there's something better, and I've got to figure out a way to get it to them. And I just sit up, and I am not going to stand idly by and say I made it and believe that that's enough. I'm not going to stand idly by and pretend that I'm not seeing what I'm seeing. I am going to accept the responsibility that I have something that I owe to the Black community. My success didn't happen in a vacuum. My success didn't happen on an island. My success happened because somebody saw something in me and nurtured it. Somebody saw something in me and spoke it. Somebody saw something in me and dared me to reach for it. And that's what this program is about. It's time for us to stop begging the public education system to give our kids, especially our boys, what we have the power to give them. It's time to stop asking the government to fund programs that we have the capacity to fund. It's time to stop playing small and start to stand up and be everything that we are capable of being. It's time to stop pointing the finger of blame at every situation and every circumstance and every entity around us, because there's always going to be opposition. And if all our kids see us do is whine and complain, they're going to become whiners and complainers. They need to see us man up and woman up and stand up and be strong in the midst of adversity, and understand how to identify machinations and mechanisms that are designed to move against us and move back strategically and answer the challenge of what we're being confronted with. That's what our young men and young women need today. They don't need a crash course in victimization. They don't need somebody to sit up and whine and complain and point fingers and create excuses. I'm not saying that there's not a racial caste system designed to keep us at bay. I know it is, but I'm saying that in some way we have to find within ourselves the wherewithal to rise up and be something anyhow. We've got to send a message to our young boys that they have the ability and the capacity to be great men. We can't sit up and let them be guided by a system of propaganda that ostracizes, derides, marginalizes who they are. That's our responsibility to sit up and teach them who they are, challenge them to be great, demand of them a higher standard of excellence. We have a responsibility. We can talk about it all day long about what's wrong. But until we start to answer the bell, until we start to truly deal with what is wrong by presenting solutions, we're part of the problem. I don't care how eloquently you can break down racism. I don't care how eloquently you can break down group economics. I don't care how eloquently you can talk about mass incarceration and serial forced displacement and integration and all of the things that are the L's of the Black community. Until you begin to move in a way that produces solutions to the problem, you are a part of the problem. We shouldn't have to be seeking any type of government assistance or external assistance. We are targeted constantly and consistently, especially around this time of year, because people know we buy. We spend so much on things that bring no value to our own lives in the long term and to the future generations that we should be feeding and focusing and building and preparing and prepping for. We still have this illusion that owning things establishes a sense of worth. It's not what you have, it's what you become. And until we understand that we need to become something greater, something more powerful, something more focused, something more fixed and headed and aimed with intent, we will continue to be at the bottom rung of the socioeconomic ladder. We are responsible for our destiny. Our opponents are simply an obstacle in the way. Look, I'm going to continue to take on these kids that are brought to me. I'm going to continue to teach people how to use the program, to engage young Black males, to work with young Black males. That's going to be a part of the ongoing work of the Odyssey Project, along with the other programs that exist. No matter what happens, historically, there has been very little support for grassroots movements like this one. They're always co-opted by commercialized entities that redirect money to things that don't actually engage and produce results. There are a number of brothers and sisters around this country that are putting in work but can't get support. And it's sad, especially when you watch all other groups get on code when something goes down in their situation, or especially when there's an instance where we are pitted against them and there may seem like one of theirs may go down. It's immediately a situation where they get on code. We don't know how to get on code, probably because we have not yet established or at least looked into the code of conduct, the code of behavior, the protocols of how we carry out and respond to things. That's on us. I'm asking you to step up and support what we're doing at the Odyssey Project, especially when it comes to the Black Men Lead Rite of Passage Initiative. I'm asking you to be a part of that, to support it. The link to support the organization is in there, and it totally shocked me, but somebody brought it to my attention. They said, you would be surprised at how many people that may want to give but are not willing to click a link and go to another page and do all of that. You need to open up a Cash App account. And I'm like, okay, I mean, to me, clicking a link is about as easy as it gets, but I guess not. So there's also a Cash App uh, designation for those who want to just simply give, whatever. But like I said, that's the first side of it. We need funding. Um, it's that simple. On the other side of it, if you have a son, and this doesn't just go for single mothers, this goes for families and single fathers, anybody, and you have a son that you feel you're losing a grip of. It's nothing wrong with asking for help. There's nothing wrong with saying, I don't know what to do next. We are going to have to learn to recreate this village concept where we stand together, we fight together, we live together, we struggle together, and we ride and lift and climb together. But bring, contact me, uh, email me, inbox me. There's so many different ways to get in contact with me that are listed across all of the different platforms I operate on. But if you have somebody, reach out, and we're going to get it figured out. Uh, what I want to do is make this program completely free to parents. Uh, I would love to be able to offer it free to every person that comes. That's the goal, to have enough support to be able to do that, so that it's not going to be dependent on what's in your bank account. It's simply going to be totally dependent upon need. But you have to understand, when that type of these types of resources are being invested into something, that comes as a cost, at a cost. But we're going to make it happen one way or another. But what I'm challenging you to do is be a part of the solution. We've done enough complaining. We've done enough whining. It's time to put in some work. That's it for now. Look, I've got plenty to do today, but I had to stop by and talk to you guys. This won't be the last time, but definitely we could use your support. Share it, pass it on. If you have any questions about what I do, I've been doing it for a while, so there's somebody that knows, or you can come directly and ask me. But this is what I'm asking. From this point on, I'm going to get off of here. I really and truly appreciate you guys for even allowing me to sneak into your day. With that being said, as I always say, live your life on full so that you die on E. And with that being said, I'm out of here. Peace.